Imagine crossing the finish line of, like, your life's greatest goal, right? But then you realize you had to basically burn your own soul as fuel just to get there.
Yeah, there's no cheering crowd. It's just an empty tank.
Exactly. So, welcome to your deep dive. Today we're unpacking a really fascinating stack of your notes about the creator Annalise.
Right, specifically focusing on the ending of the narrative DTF.
Yes, because our mission today is to figure out why Annalise meticulously designed this conclusion to evoke, profound grief instead of triumph.
Which is so unusual. I mean, usually we expect that classic hero's journey.
Right. The dragon is slain, the hero comes home to a huge parade, it's supposed to be comforting.
But Annalise actively dismantles that comforting trope.
Hmm.
And they do it using this core concept called unavoidability.
Unavoidability. Okay, so how does that actually work in the narrative?
Well, it begins with what Annalise calls the first pillar of this vision, which is unavoidable attrition.
Unavoidable attrition. That sounds intense.
It is. It's this harsh reality that great achievements come with a totally non-negotiable human price tag. The whole premise assumes that the human psyche only has a strictly finite amount of resources.
Oh, wow. So you can't just infinitely push through.
No, you really can't. To survive the journey, the protagonist is subjected to just this relentless erosion.
It makes me think of like a pencil being sharpened to write a masterpiece.
Oh, that's a great way to put it.
Right, like you keep grinding it down to make the art until eventually there's literally nothing left to hold.
Exactly.
But I do want to push back on that logic for just a second.
Okay, go for it.
If the protagonist is completely empty by the end, if that erosion is absolute, doesn't that kind of make the victory pointless? Like, why should you, the audience, even care about a hollow shell crossing the finish line?
I mean, that's a fair question. But the thing is that hollowness forces you to confront the actual cost of ambition. The tragedy is the point.
So it's not supposed to feel like a win at all.
Not really, no. By the time the credits roll, the person who started the quest is just gone, completely consumed by the effort. Annalise actually says they, quote, stole themselves out.
Stole themselves out. Wow.
Yeah. So the audience cares because they're essentially mourning the person who had to be sacrificed to achieve the goal.
Okay, so if the character's core identity is just totally eroded away, what is actually powering them across that finish line?
That brings us right to the second and third pillars of the vision in your notes, which revolves around this concept of stolen time.
Stolen time? How do they mean that?
Well, the creator literalizes this metaphor in a way that makes the narrative so devastating. The protagonist isn't just, working hard. They're actively borrowing against their own future.
Oh, I see. So taking from tomorrow to survive today.
Exactly. They are taking their future peace, their mental stability, their physical health, and they're just burning it as fuel for the present moment.
So by the end, they've successfully completed the mission, but they have absolutely nothing left to actually live with.
Right. They're totally empty.
I mean, honestly, borrowing against tomorrow's energy just to survive today is a deeply relatable modern truth.
Absolutely.
Like running on fumes, fueled by caffeine and deadlines, we all do that to some extent. But Annalise takes that relatable anxiety and just weaponizes it in that final scene.
They really do. Because externally, the task is solved. The world keeps spinning.
Right, but internally, the character is completely bankrupt.
And that stark contrast between the hour success and the inner bankruptcy is mechanically enforced by how those final 2 minutes are presented.
Yeah, Annalise does not let you look away. There's no quick cut to a happy montage.
No, not at all. Through this incredibly heavy, lingering camera work and the really deliberate, agonizing pacing of the subtitles, you're basically trapped in the scene.
You are forced to just sit in that void.
Exactly. You experience their profound isolation in real time.
The pacing literally dictates your emotional response there. It forces you to linger on the loneliness instead of the victory.
Which means, if you watched that ending and found yourself in tears, just feeling crushed under the weight of it all,
then Annalise's vision succeeded perfectly.
It did. The goal was never to comfort you. It was to honor the sacrifice.
Yeah.
To make you feel the exact weight of what was given up.
There's actually a central quote from your notes that perfectly encapsulates this. It says, "Sometimes you only win by losing yourself along the way."
That really says it all, doesn't it?
It does. It asks us to completely reevaluate what winning actually means. And I think it leaves you with something pretty heavy to mull over today.
Definitely.
Building on Annalise's premise, if achieving our most important goals demands that we literally steal from our future selves, are our greatest victories actually just slow, quiet defeats?